This was going to be a review of the Husky 555, but we have an intruder. Go on. Go on. Okay, so the Husky 555, Husqvarna. This is a saw that I just got this last summer, 2014. It's been a really good saw. Sorry. We're gonna have to close the door. Come on, girl. Let's go. Husqvarna 555. This is Husqvarna's prosumer saw. It's comparable. I think it's probably got the same engine as the 460 and the 562 XP. That's the Pro Saw, the XP. And so I looked at these three saws to see what would suit here on the farm cutting firewood. I didn't go with the consumer, the 460 saw, because it's under 4 horsepower and a plastic case. I didn't go with the XP Pro Saw because of higher vibrations, so it's tuned hotter and you get more vibrations, and that tends to numb my hands when I'm cutting wood. It was also, I think, $100 more. So I went with the 555. It's got the auto tune, which the 460, all the consumer saws, they don't have the auto tune feature. It's basically your electronic carburetor. There's no adjusting of idle or anything. It sets itself based on temperature, humidity, whether the engine's warm or not. So the auto tune is a real nice feature. That's worth having if they ever come out with that on the smaller saws, lower grade saws that are affordable. That's going to really take off. It's got the X-Torque engine. I think all the Husqvarnas have that. It's supposed to have more power and use less fuel. So I'll just show you some of the features on this saw. Fuel, oil, chain lock there at the front, your priming bulb. There is a compression release on the top. And these bar nuts have little hooks that they won't fall out. When you loosen this, take the cover off, you will not lose your bar nuts. They stay onto the cover, which is another real nice feature of the higher end Husky saw. It's got the anti-vibration handle, standard log dogs here. They are fine for my uses. I got the saw with a 20-inch bar, and the cost to me for the saw, 20-inch bar and chain was $570 bucks. I got it at a local Husqvarna shop. I did compare this saw with I don't remember the model numbers, but the steel it's the MS line. I can't remember which model it was, 60cc Pro or prosumer saws. And the reason I went with Husky is because, one, I have a Husky 435, which has been a really handy saw. That's a consumer model saw, but I like that saw. So, but also the Husky saw was cheaper for an equivalent saw. It was either $30, $50, $60 cheaper. It was lighter, and you get a couple tenths, a tenth or two more horsepower out of the equivalent steel saw. So I was happy with Husky, and it turns out that I think you get more saw for your money if you're not a diehard steel fan. I have nothing against steel saws. I'm just very happy with Husky, and I'm very happy with a 555. I've run now about maybe 8 to 10 tanks of fuel through it. It's been cutting great. You got to keep your chainsaw, of course, sharp. This has a semi-chisel chain. I have a few extras, and trying to sharpen them myself. I got them off, and I took them into a service center to get them reground because I was cutting crooked. But that's not the saw's fault. That also happened on another saw that's got nothing to do with the Husky. It's got a lot of power. It'll cut through. 20-inch bar is fine. I think you could probably pull a 24-inch bar. But I didn't want to go longer just because you're more chance of digging your tip. When you're cutting that firewood and coming around, you've got more chance of digging your tip in just because it sticks out farther. Nice thing about a longer bar is that you can cut a bigger tree. I don't really have trees that are going to be that big. And you can also, with the 24-inch bar, you can delimit easier. You don't have to bend over as far. So those are just some things to think about. This has got another thing on this saw. It's really easy to clean the filter, the air filter. You pop this little clip, and the same thing on the other side. You pop the clip, you take that off, and you clean your filter. This has, so that's about it. Yeah, I think that's the main things on the saw. And I'll take you out and show you cutting some oak. Look who's back. Number 8. Okay, continuing the review out here with this dead oak, still solid, and the saw is cold. So I'll show you how to start it cold. Choke it, push the primer. Once it just starts to run, that first little choke that you hear, you turn off your choke switch. So that's the saw. It's I forgot my timber jack, and I didn't want to go back and get it. So you can see it cuts pretty well, and I've been very happy with it. Thanks for watching.